Yes, hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today I want us to focus on the relationship between aviation and climate change, guys. So, as you know, climate change is the topic of the day in the world. Like countries have come together, they are discussing on ways to adapt to climate change and also to mitigate it. Yeah, so adapting is whereby we develop solutions to so that we are used. For example, climate change is here with us. So the effects of climate change are also here. So how can we adapt? So that's adaptation. And also to mitigate, the mitigation measures are measures developed to ensure that climate change does not continue further. Yeah, because they have proven to be not friendly to humanity. Yeah, so discussions such as the latest COP28, which was held in Saudi Arabia, COP27 was held in Egypt, and the other conferences held by global leaders in the industry of environment and those concerned with the climate, as spearheaded by their respective countries. So it's a conglomeration of countries. They come together, they discuss on measures to deal with climate change. Yeah. So how does aviation contribute to climate change? So in aviation we use jet air-1 fuel, and adaptation of adoption of green alternatives of fuel, that to replace the jet air-1 fuel, which releases carbon to environment, is proving it's like a very difficult task. Like for example, I was seeing the statistics from the year 2000 up to now, consistently, not even 2000, from 1990s, we've been using jet air-1 fuel, which is petroleum. So it releases carbon to environment, and leads to depletion of ozone layer, and that contributes to climate change, guys. Yeah. So aviation operations in general contribute to climate change, mostly or majorly through the carbon released to atmosphere. Carbon, when released to atmosphere, it contributes to the depletion of ozone layer. Ozone layer is that layer of gases up there in the atmosphere that protects us from direct sunlight. Yeah, protects the it like it stays in between the sunlight in the outer space and the living organisms on the earth. Yeah, like plants, animals, the air, like the ecosystem, the whole ecosystem around the earth. Yeah, so when it's depleted, we face the wrath, the effects of direct sunlight towards the ice, the snow, and we experience weather events like flash floods, increase in melting of polar snow and ice, and also uh, and that leads to the rise in the level of oceans, and that they have catastrophic effects to humanity. Yeah. So aviation operations in general contributes to climate change. And what are the solutions that have been proposed to to ensure that to ensure that aviation operations are green and do not contribute to climate change, like do not lead to the adverse effects of climate change? So there is an energy alternative called SAF, Sustainable Aviation Fuel. That's a biofuel. It is green. It does not release any carbon to the atmosphere. But they are very expensive. That's why they are very expensive. That's why their production are very expensive, and also the adoption. The like when airlines are trying to buy them, they are very expensive. They are not economical. Airlines are there to make money. You cannot if the inputs are very expensive, like for example, if the expenses are much more than the income or the profits, then why use those expenses? You look for a cheaper alternative. So sustainable aviation fuel SAF is still very expensive, and that's why it has not been adopted. So like 2% or 3% adoption, not even 2%, around 2% there, yeah, around or less than 2% adoption so far. Less than 2% of sustainable aviation fuels have been adopted by airlines across the world so far. So you see that we still have a long way in as far as green energy usage in aviation operations is concerned. So the use of also electric, like solar power for planes has also been not very effective because their development, there are planes already in operations, and also like it has not been fully implemented because of technicalities in aviation. So we still have a long way in aviation sector to contribute to the green, uh, to the green, to the green energy. So let me divert a little bit and talk about how aviation, not sorry, how climate change affects aviation. So uh, climate change leads for let me start with climate change leads to we experience adverse weather effects like the ones I've mentioned, like the rise in ocean. Uh, when there is global warming, the rise in global temperature on the earth, we experience the ice and snow on mountains and on the polar regions, North Pole and South Pole, they melt, and that leads to rise in the ocean level. So when they rise, homesteads and life along the ocean are affected, you know, and there is a lot of flash floods. So there is a lot of water. So, there is warmth. So rainfall forms like erratically, and there is flash floods in areas across the globe which are not expected. So you realize that there is a change in the weather patterns in different parts of the world, and that is another weather pattern is hurricanes. There are hurricanes in parts of the world, and that hurricanes affects like the flight of aircrafts. Turbulence. They cause turbulence. Like the recent, because I'm shooting this video on today is 11th of June 2024. So around a week ago, there was a Singapore Airlines plane experienced turbulence, which one passenger died, a 73-year-old Briton. So the flight was from London in UK to Singapore. It was headed to Singapore, and it experienced turbulence on top of Myanmar. Myanmar, there near China, somewhere near India, not China, but India, somewhere there. Yeah, it's a country bordering India. So there was a lot of fatalities, because when aeroplane is cruising at a cruise altitude, people don't have seatbelts, so it came abruptly. So that's one effects of climate change, and we are trying so much. In as far as we have not achieved so much result, we have not achieved so much in as far as mitigating climate change is concerned, but we are trying development of sustainable aviation fuels, and also there is streamlining of aircraft, the development of aircrafts body to ensure that they are very efficient, they fly smoothly so that they use less fuel, and when they use less fuel, they omit, they give out less carbon. So development of aircrafts, and that's one. Two, development of sustainable aviation fuels. So those are the developments, and also electric energy, solar energy use in planes is also the research is ongoing so that we replace the traditional jet fuel with solar energy. So those are the developments going on. So it is still at a very early age stage. Aviation is still at very early stage to ensure that we implement things to ensure that climate change, we take part in adaptation and mitigation of climate change. Yeah, so that is it. I wanted to talk about that today, and this is an open discussion, and I want you to contribute in the comment section if you find it useful, and I know we are going far together. Yeah, so thank you so much. Be blessed. Bye bye.